Alan, Wasalan. I am the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another chapter reading from Ramses, the Son of Light. We're tapping into chapter 1. Let's hope, we can bring some insight to the culture. Let's hope that you can process our mistakes of not listening. Hopefully you can process the mistakes of trying to lead when you're really still learning, trying to lead in a culture where that is so much hypocrisy, is so much division, is so much untapped, factual laws, scriptures, deities that we have stood on, that we should have never stood on. You got what I'm saying? We should have never stood on them. You know, the first step to this culture is to know your ancestors. The second step to this culture is to plant you some seeds. The third step in this culture is to walk that life, live that life, express that life, show that life to the world that you are been chosen. You do hold the knowledge. You do understand the knowledge that you are spreading to the world. Look, I don't have all the answers. You get me? I don't have all the answers. But what I do have is a testimony, is a walk, is a faith, is a strength, and a belief in my ancestors, in your ancestors, our ancestors from Kemet, from ancient Egypt, from Africa, that forged the civilization that I know I stand on was righteous. Look, we ain't gonna get into too much devilish talk, chivalrous talk, foolery talk. What we're gonna do is stay positive. What we're gonna do is take the past history of our dynasty, of our legacy, and make it right. Make it right. For we are the descendants to change this. We are the children to change this. Let's roll. The wild bull froze, staring at young Ramses. The animal was huge and dark, with legs thick as pillows, drooping ears, and a stiff pointed beard. It had just sensed the young man's presence. Ramses was fascinated by his horns, broad and almost joined at the base, then flaring out and upward in a helmet shape, tipped with two lethal points. In all his 14 years, Ramses had never seen such an enormous bull. Even the ablest hunters steered clear of this particular breed, calm in his own surroundings, protective of the sick and wounded, and watchful parent. The dominant male transformed into a terrifying warrior as soon as his territory was invaded. The slightest provocation could send him charging furiously and with amazing speed, retreat only when his opponent was trampled. Ramses took a step backwards. The bull tail whipped the air as he kept a fierce eye on his intruder into his marshy domain. By the tall reeds, a cow was calving her sisters in a ring around her. In the solitary backwater of the Nile, the huge male reigned over his herd and permitted no challenge to his authority. The young man had hoped the thick grass would hide him, but the bull's brown eyes, deep in their sockets, were trained on him. Ramses knew there would be no escape. Ashen, he turned slowly towards his father. Seti, Pharaoh of Egypt, stood a few feet behind his son, victorious bull. They called him. His mere presence was said to paralyze his enemies. His mind, sharp as a falcon's beak, perceived all. There was nothing he did not know. Slender, stern face with a high forehead, hooked nose, jutting cheekbones, said he was authority incarnate. Worshipped and feared, the monarch had restored Egypt to her former glory. You kind of get these paragraphs I just read. I understand that before Christ, the primitive days of history, that a warrior, a general, a prince, a heir to the throne, at a young age was sent out to define himself as a man, to define himself as a god. And in Kemet, if I'm correct, you know what I mean, you have to go out here and tackle down a bull. You have to be victorious of a bull. You have to win that fight. So it's a nice part to come into, because we're starting with the development of the mind, the development of the warrior, the development of making a king, a god, a heir of the throne. Until now, he had been in the care of royal guardians who taught him all a king's son must know in preparation for a high government position. But this morning, Seti had pulled the boy away from his hieroglyph class and driven him deep into the country. Not a word had yet passed between them. Not a word had yet passed between them. When the vegetation grew too dense, the two had abandoned their 2 horses' chariot and waded into the tall grass. Once clear, they had entered the realm of the bull, which was more frightening, the wild beast or Pharaoh. Ramses felt unequal to the power that emanated from each of them. In legend, the bull was a celestial animal burning with the fire of the other world, and Pharaoh walked among the gods. Though Ramses was taller than most grown men and naturally courageous, still he felt trapped between 2 almost conspiring forces. He spotted me, the boy said, trying to sound assured. Good. The first word his father spoke to him rang like a death sentence. He's so big, he and you, who are you? The question threw Ramses off guard. The bull pawed the ground with his left front hoof. Faster and faster, egrets and hurons flew off, as if clearing the battlefield. Are you a coward or a king's son? Seti gaze pierced his soul. I like to fight, but a courageous man goes to the limit of his strength. A king goes beyond it. If that is not in you, you are not meant to rule, and we will never see each other again. No test should daunt you. Leave if you wish, otherwise capture the bull. What we're going to do, we're going to bookmark this. We're going to bookmark this, and you see how things was being, the test that was being put on your kid, your male child. You get what I'm saying? Your male child is supposed to go on to walk in your legacy, to keep your legacy going. When you think about your household, your male son is supposed to take over that house when you're gone. He's to watch that house. He's to make sure that that house is still functioning. You know, we have really laid some things upon our women that we may should not have ever done. You know, we have put some roles on them that maybe this is not what they was really put here to do. We get the fact, you know what I mean, they deliver our descendants. I get that, but it's more to a woman than just having babies. You feel what I'm saying? It's more to a woman, it's more to a goddess, it's more to a princess, a queen, than cleaning a house, washing dishes, balancing a budget. You got what I'm saying? When you really understand the role of a woman, the persuasion, the how to put it, the care, the nurture of a woman, you rather have that woman out there amongst the people, you know, speaking to the people, explaining things to the people, and going out here getting an understanding of why there's corruption in this part of the land. Why is there no corruption in this part of the land? What makes it where the less is more at ease, where that those that have a little more is a little uptight and a little bit, you know, unturned, you know, and it could go vice versa, you know, depending on the structure of the people, of the how to say this, the I don't, well, I can't say the economy. You know, even back then there was an economy. You got what I'm saying? You had to keep grain, you had to keep grain, you had to keep food, you had to keep trade within your land. So I will say there was an economy. You know what I mean? There are things that women can smooth over better than a man can smooth over. You got what I'm saying? So a queen, a goddess is just as important as the God is. You feel what I'm saying? And I just say this, you know, to come back to what I started, where I started at. You know, you teach your young son to be responsible. You teach your young son to carry on your legacy. You teach your young son to stand up when you're not able to stand up, to speak, to fight, to forge when you're not able to do those things. You get me? You understand? So I say this to you again, you know, grab your babies, you men, you gods, get up and grab your especially your male kids. You feel what I'm saying? Grab them, grab them, teach them, show them. However you reach them, I'm visible. I'm a visual person. You got what I'm saying? Very visible. There's things that you can show me, not tell me. I catch on quicker showing it to me than you telling it to me. So I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? Come on, get up. Get up. We have some new parents out here now. You know, don't let your kids 10, 15 years from now go through what you have witnessed. Don't let your kids go through 20, 30 years from now what you have went through. You get it? You get what I'm saying? There are some things you can protect your babies from. You know, taking young Ramses out there to fight a bull, do you know how much courage that puts in him if he wins? Do you know how much it makes this young man eager to speak to his dad, eager to be around his dad? You get this? That said it, walk past and don't speak. How you think that made that young man feel? How you think that child feeling? My dad won't speak to me until the task is done. Am I ready for the task? No, because I'm still taking classes. I'm still doing this, still doing that, but I'm not out here fighting this bull yet. So if young Ramses don't win, what does that mean? What is the dynamic of their relationship as father and son? And if you think about the position they're in, I don't think that it's a dynamic of father and son. I believe there's a dynamic of ruler and heir. You feel what I'm saying? And the heir of the throne. And you have to set aside your how to say it, your the word would be concern. You feel what I'm saying? You can't treat that heir no different than you would treat a general in your army that's already there. That if your heir to the throne was to pass, you may have to put that general in place to be the heir of that throne. You get what I'm saying? Look, let's come on. You know what I mean? Let's get out of not teaching our babies. Let's get out of not being there for our babies. Let's get out of not being able to listen to our babies. You feel me? We do have to listen to them for them to listen to us. Yes, we are the parents. Yes, we have more history upon this earth than our babies do, but like I said before, our babies come out the womb with a hat, a suit, and a briefcase on. You got what I'm saying? If you're very good at what you do and what you see is visible to you. To the naked eye, it's not visible. You feel me? Our kids are very intelligent. Our kids make how to put it, mistakes, choices that of the now, not thinking down the road, not looking down the road. So these are the things you need to teach your children at an early age. And I say this to you once again, you know, if your babies bump their head until they're 12, 13 years old, who did it really cost? Did it really cost them? Nah, nah. Unless they go out here and murder somebody, it does not cost them too much of anything. And if you're really trying to keep your kids away from criminal activities, criminal acts, then you need to do what? Consume them with everything that's positive. Put a book in their face. Once that book up, go and take them out to the gym. Once that gym up, go on, sit back and let's talk about what you learned from this book you made. You feel what I'm saying? Let's sit down, let's have some quiet time. Let's sit down, let's play this little PlayStation or this Xbox together. Having your kids in your circle every day, in your life every day, it holds a lot of weight in the demiurge presence. You feel me? It holds a lot of weight. A lot of weight. Look, you've been with the nasty pastor. I'm out, and I love you.